It is a short overview of world's economy. All data is taken from the website of worldbank.org, from the website of World Bank, and I got information on population, on GDP for all countries which are in database of World Bank. And I make some transformation of data, and afterwards I received this data which and tables, data and graphs, tables which will be presented to you. So first of all, please look at the biggest economies of the world as of 2014 by GDP. These countries are United States of America, China, Japan, Germany, United Kingdom, France, Brazil, Italy, India, Russia, Canada, and Spain. And if you look here, you will see that world's economy has increased from approximately 32 trillion US dollars in 1999 to approximately 76 trillion dollars in 2014, in 15 years. So, and you can notice that other countries which are not top 12 countries, their share increased from 24% to 29.5% in 2015 or 14. Sorry. You can also notice that share of United States decreased from 30% to 23%, and share of China increased from 3.4% to 13.6% during last 15 years. You can look at this chart diagram which shows countries. Blue is for 1999, it is GDP, y-axis is GDP in US dollars, and x-axis is for countries. So blue is graph of 1999, and no, I think it is not red, but this color is for 2000, something between red and brown. This color is for 2014. So you see that almost all countries, GDP of almost all countries increased, not almost, but all countries increased. But the increase was different. Some countries increased very little, for example Japan. Some countries increased very increase of these countries, as China was very big, you see the increase. Okay, and you see share of different economies here. You can stop this video at any time and look at this table and tables which I show you. So let's analyze in more details the biggest economies of the world. So GDP of United States of America increased by $7.7 trillion during last 15 years from 1999 till 2014, including year 2000, 2001, and so on, and including year 2014. Growth was 80%. It is less than average growth of the world. Average growth of the world was 138%. And as I said before, the growth of China was terrific, was 851%. Economy of China increased from $1 trillion in 1999 to $10.3 trillion in 2014 by 851%. And you can see comment, industrial growth in all sectors of economy because of cheap labor, smart investment and economic policies. It's my opinion, and it is not only my opinion that growth in China was because of smart investment and economic policies and because of cheap labor. And some economists say that there is no more too much cheap labor in China, and some economists say that people should look at Africa as the place where very cheap labor can be found. So And you can see that growth of Japan was only 4%, and growth of Germany was 75%, and growth of Italy was 72%. It is not very much for 15 years. And if you look at Russian Federation, you will see that its growth was also approximately the same as the growth of China, 850%, but in my humble opinion, growth of economy in Russia is explained primarily by increase of oil prices and low base effect. I think that it is true because if you look at oil prices, you will notice that at the end of 19th year of previous century, 1999, 1998, oil prices were very low, and some people say that it was one of the reasons of the fall of Soviet Union and so on. And starting from 1999, 2000, oil prices became how to say, oil prices increased. They increased till 2008 to $1,050 per barrel, but afterwards they began decreasing. And we know that in 2015 Russian economy goes down. So this is figures for economies, and you can see graphs which show it more in a better way. So you see, GDP of United States was approximately $10 trillion in 1999, and it becomes something like $17.6 trillion in 2014. GDP of Japan is approximately the same for these 2 years. GDP of China increased very much, and you see all the data. And you can notice that other countries, which are not top 12 countries, so you see that other countries, their share in the world's economy increased dramatically. And this chart, this circle chart, shows share of leading countries, of the biggest countries in the world's economy, of GDP as of 2014. So United States, share of United States, I show you share of China, share of other countries, which are not countries listed before, and you see some other countries here are also shown. So let's go to the next spreadsheet. This spreadsheet contains information about the most populated countries as of the end of 2014. As you know, the most populated country is China, but its share in world's population decreased from 20.7% to 18.7% during the last 15 years. The next biggest country is India. Its population increased from 17.1% to 17.7% during the last 15 years. And let's calculate population of the world increased by 1.2 billion people during the last 15 years, on average for 82 million people per year. If we calculate in percentage, we will see that population of the world increased by approximately 20% during last 15 years. So the most populated countries as of the end 2014 are China, India, United States of America, Indonesia, Brazil, Pakistan, Nigeria, Bangladesh, Russian Federation, Japan, and other countries. And total, as I said before, total population of the world increased by 20%, but this increase is not, how to say, different countries have different increase of their population. Some countries are less populated now. For example, Russian Federation, its population decreased by 2.3% during the last 15 years. If you look at a table which contains information about all countries, you will notice that population of Ukraine decreased more than population of Russia, and you can notice that some African countries that their population increases much more than average of the world and much more than population of Pakistan and Nigeria and so on. So as a rule, population of the world is increasing, but its how to say, speed of increase is not very much, and some analysts say that by 2030 or 2050, total population of the world would be approximately 10 billion people, and afterwards it will stop increasing. Okay, and you can look at this chart and you will see population in different countries as of 1999 and 2014. You see this chart. And the next spreadsheet shows information about richest and poorest countries of the world as of 2014. So, I calculated GDP per capita by dividing GDP to population of all countries and selected 20 countries which are the most richest and 20 poorest countries. So, you see that difference is very big. Qatar is richer than Malawi 382 times. 382 times. Qatar is much more richer than Malawi. So the difference is really very much. So the richest countries are Qatar, Norway, Macau, Australia, Denmark, Sweden, Singapore, United States of America, Ireland, Iceland, Netherlands, Austria, Canada, Finland, Germany, Belgium, United Kingdom, United Arab Emirates, France, Brunei. And you see that total world's average GDP per capita is $10,420 per capita in 1 year. In a year. So $10,500 per capita in 1 year is the average GDP per capita in the world. And you can notice that the poorest countries are Malawi, Burundi, Central African Republic, Gambia, Niger, Congo, Madagascar, Liberia, Guinea, Ethiopia, and so on. All these countries, not all, but majority of these countries are located in Africa. So Africa is a very poor continent, and GDP per capita is very low there. Okay, as I said before, China has not too much cheap labor now, as it was 15 years ago, and some economists think that in order to produce something, it is much more better to use cheap labor in Africa, and it could lead to increase of African economies in the future. So, it was my short overview of the world economy and about countries, and that's all. So, I wish you good luck and goodbye.